gavelled in and reconvened. Now, Attorney General Garland, I want to pick up on the subject that Congressman Trone was just talking to you about, and that is the Bureau of Prisons. The FY22 enacted appropriation for the BOP included $195 million above the president's budget request to help maintain staffing levels, improve officer-inmate ratios, and reduce reliance on the augmentation, which is a fancy word for fudging the numbers. And I think that's so important. I have federal prisons in my district, and I'm concerned about whether this is enough, what we're doing on a couple of scores. First, it's very difficult to hire people to be prison guards right now, to be correctional officers. There are other opportunities to go to work outside of the realm of incarceration work. But even within the job of being a correctional officer, there are other opportunities. For example, in northeastern Pennsylvania, we've seen correctional officers get wooed away by state prison systems that pay better, or even county jails. So I'm concerned about whether current salaries are competitive. I mean, I've heard particularly from the USP Canaan management and staff that it's very difficult to hire people. Billboards are not working. Job fairs are not working. People are going other places to get better pay. I want to hear your thoughts on that. And the other score is that there still is overcrowding. BOP's inmate population has fallen to 156,000 from its 2013 peak of almost 220,000. But that's overall. In particular categories, overcrowding persists, such as in medium and high security facilities, and that's according to BOP's request. Question is, will BOP be able to reduce this overcrowding in FY23 with the funding requested to ensure the safety of both staff and inmates? Because that's what we're talking about, keeping both the correctional officers and the inmates safe by making sure there's enough staffing. Go ahead, Attorney General.
Well, you're right. We're in a competitive marketplace. I want to say one thing about the augmentation, which sorry, I can't agree that it means fudging the numbers. What it means, and I'm sure you didn't quite mean it that way. It means using staff that are not officially correctional officers for some correctional officer tasks. They are supposed to be trained to be able to pick up on those tasks. But look, we would rather that not be the case. We'd rather have more correctional officers. So in the first 6 months of FY22, the documented augmentation hours decreased by 15.1% compared to FY20 and to FY21. So we are definitely making considerable progress in that regard. It's not as good as it should be. Since January 1st, we've hired 300 new staff, including 236 correctional officers. And as you know, we're asking for appropriations to add 1,300 new staff, 700 correctional officers, and 600 FSA First Step Back staff. The more officers we have, the better the safety issue that you're concerned about will be able to be protected. Now, we are offering official recruitment incentives in order to get people in, because you're right, it is hard to compete. We're also seeking from OPM direct hire authority, which would allow us to streamline hiring at 6 BOP locations. So I think we are not, you and I are not in any disagreement on this question. That's why we're seeking more people, why we're seeking more streamlining and efficiency in the hiring. more assistance from OPM to let us do direct hires, and more incentive pay.
Well, I thank you for that. And at this time, I recognize our ranking member, Mr. Adderholt, for 5 minutes of additional